Right, this is James Shepherd then, Unit 1 Fitness Testing and Training, Task 1. Right, so you're going for P1, P2 and M1. So we start off with P1 and M1 then, James. Describe and explain the fitness requirements for achieving excellence in a selected sport. So who's the sports person you've chosen?
I have picked David here. He's a professional boxer.
Right.
And the 6 requirements I have chosen for that is balance. You need balance when you're walking around the ring. You don't want to fall over. And if you're taking a punch, then you've got to stand on your 2 feet to take it. I've also chose power, so then all the power in his body can punch hard, and it doesn't trip with the power in him, because if you're very weak, it's not going to work. I've also chosen speed, so he can punch fast and he can walk around the ring fast. I've chosen those are my 3 that I've picked.
Right, for physical, yeah?
Yeah.
You got some more on that sheet there?
I've got strength conditioning training. That's where he's got to obviously build up his strength by getting weights. And then once he's that conditioning means after you've taken a few things, like say you punch something, after you've hit something a lot of times, it builds all the bone up and then you get calcium in them. I've chosen reaction time as well. When he's punching, he's got to make sure that he dodges at the perfect time and then punches back at the right time. And his punch have got to be to perfection and make sure he doesn't get hit himself. Those are my 6 that I have.
So which others have you? Right, so you got another one there, haven't you?
And muscular endurance.
Right, talk to me about that then.
That's to withstand the damage thrown by the person, so I can take a lot of punches. Like I said, with the conditioning, after you've taken a lot of punches, it doesn't hurt you and you get calcium on your knuckles and your face. But you can't see the calcium on your face, but you can see it on your knuckles. So when he takes a few good punches, then obviously he can withstand it and then obviously throw the others. And then I've got some fitness training methods with that.
Right, so why is it important for him to have good muscular endurance? So what's he got to keep doing?
He's just got to keep building it, practicing his punches, taking punches. If he practices it, like I said, he can build on his...
But why is it important for him to keep on? So would it be good if he could only punch in the first round but not in the last round?
No, he's got to be able to last for each round. If he gets if he gets tired on the first round, he could get punched and then he could lose the fight. So if he can take a punch through all the rounds, then he could win, because he might get the knockout punch. And it's so then he can keep his breath up. I mean, he can't lose his breath when he's doing it, because he won't be able to move around as fast. So if he keeps his breath up, his lung capacity and his stamina, then he'll be able to walk around the ring. It depends also what sort of weight it is as well. If someone's got a much heavier weight than him, then they've got an opportunity, and height as well, because they can throw far punches and they've got more weight when they punch. So
give us 2 minutes more, so just hang on outside for us. Right, so out of those 6, which do you think's the most important then for him?
I would say it's hard, because speed you need a lot, because if you're slow you're not going to be able to throw any punches, and with the dodging, but at the same time you need to be able to withstand a lot of punches. So I'd say the conditioning one, the muscular endurance. If he can't take a punch, then there's no point even jumping in the ring. It may be slow, but he might be able to throw a good punch. But
right.
If he can take a lot of punches, then that'll help him a lot.
Right, okay. So which 3 fitness training methods have you chosen then for him to do? So if you were in charge of training David A, what sort of stuff might you do with him?
Circuit training.
Yeah.
That's where he does a variety of exercises in a limit time. So there's the bleep test, where you run from one side to the other when it bleeps each time.
But would you do that in a circuit?
Yeah, to build up his stamina.
It could be one of the training
Well,
methods,
you
but
could-
you wouldn't be able to do it in a circuit, would you?
I suppose you could, because you could have it there, and then you could have one bit where there's pull-ups, where he's got to do that in a certain time.
Right.
A pull-up row where you've got to climb up it.
Right, so let's take the bleed test out of it. Right.
Okay. Right, so,
So,
we'll take that out.
Tell me a circuit that you'd use without the bleed test in it. So you said one there, chin ups.
Chin ups, muscle ups. That's where you're going to go all the way up to the top and then back down.
Right, yeah. What else?
There's one-handed press ups. That's where you've got to use one hand, of course, and then.
Yeah. What else?
Sit ups.
Yeah.
Handstand push-ups, that's where
Yeah.
you can either do it freely or you can do it on the wall, and then you've got to it's basically push-ups the same except you're upside down.
Right.
There's medicine ball where you throw it to each other, that's control of yourself. There's
One more.
air boxing, where you just got to stand and focus where you're punching. There's a punch
So
bag
like
as well.
shadow boxing.
Yeah, shadow boxing, and then there's a punch bag which helps you with your focus and where you're going to punch as well.
Right, so, good. Right, so you're going on to strength and power training now. So if you're in charge of training, what?
Weight punching to build up your power, so then obviously, because you're not just going to punch from your body as well, well, it's got to come from your whole body, so then when you punch it's going to make some damage. There's weightlifting, he's got to build up the whole of his body, because it's mostly using his top body rather than his lower body with his legs and stuff, because he's just going to be walking around. He's got to build up his top bit so then he can punch hard. And
Right, so if you're if he wandered into the gym, David Hay, and he said, right, I want to do a strength and power session, what sort of stuff might you do with him?
I'd do the same with circuit training really, sort of. I mean, he's got to do press ups as well, but there's different types of press ups he can do. There's diamond, there's normal, there's one-handed, there's clap, press ups. He'd have to do weights as well.
What sort of dumbbell exercises might you do then?
He'd have to do bicep curls, normal. He'd have to do his shoulders where you just push it up. That'd do his shoulders up more, so then, because if you do his shoulders, that means you can put more power in as well, because it mostly comes from your shoulders. So you'd have to do that.
Right, so let's move on to, and then what's the next one you got there then?
Aerobic training.
Right, talk to me about that then.
Well, he's got to make his body more he's got to strengthen his body up more, so then it can take damage and obviously.
But why is it important to him to have a good aerobic system?
Because if his body's agile, he's not going to be able to take it much and stuff. That's why when they're getting when they get into boxing, they've got to do a bit to warm them up. So to do that, he'll have to do weights, but like really light and stuff.
But what type of training's aerobic? Is that where you...
Aerobics to get you more flexible. So like when you dodge and stuff. You don't want to be really rusty when you dodge it, do you?
No, but
otherwise
what sort of
his
exercises
legs.
might you do for aerobic training? Aerobic, so cardiovascular.
Well, there's legs. He's got to obviously get his...
What sort of machines might you go on?
Cardio. The bike.
Yeah, good. What else? The other one begins with a T.
Treadmill
Yeah.
and the rowing machine.
Right, good. And then what other activity could you do with him? The one that you said before? The one where you got to go?
Oh, the bleep test.
Right, yeah. Why is that then? So why is the bleep test important for his aerobic training?
It'll test his speed with it, it'll get his stamina up more, and it'll get his stamina up, and his lung capacity will build up a lot. But at the same time, he can't drink water while he's doing it. He'll have to drink it after he's done, because if he drinks water while he's in training, the water will just go into his system, and then if someone punches him in, he'll obviously be sick all over him. So he's got to also he'll take some water in, spit it out, and then he's got the water at the side of his mouth. But the bleep test really helps because the more tired you get, the quicker the bleeps go each round. So he'll have to push himself really far until he gets this.
Right, so which is the most important one for those, you reckon?
Circuit training, definitely.
Right, so circuit, why is that then?
Because it'll make him more quicker, it'll build up his power a lot quicker than rather than being in a gym for like 2 to 3 hours. If he's doing that, then he's sort of relaxed a bit and he's taking his time. But if he's doing circuit training, he's got a limit of time to do it, so that'll build him up